Greetings again, boys and girls at Faith Bible Fellowship Church. It's Pastor Wes here again with
the O-T-H-E-O.
And also
S-I-M-O-N.
And we're here to read chapter 11 with you today from John Bunyan's book, Pilgrim's Progress. Very good. And this version has been rewritten by Anna Tremieux, and we are in chapter 11 today. We only have a couple more chapters left, don't we?
Yeah.
Two more after this. And today we see Christian meet little Faith and
Satan.
No, he meets a man called the Flatterer. Are you ready?
Satan is a flatterer.
All right, ready? Chapter 11. As they walked, Christian and Hopeful told a story. Once a man called Little Faith was on the narrow way and fell asleep. 3 robbers named Faint Heart, Mistrust, and Guilt came up with threatening words, ordered him to get up. Afraid, Little Faith didn't have the strength to fight or run away. The robbers grabbed his money and beat him with a large club. The robbers heard someone coming. Scared it might be great grace, they ran away. Little Faith finally continued on the narrow way. Hopeful asked, "Did the robbers take all he had?" Christian replied, "No, they didn't find his jewels, but they got his spending money. After that, he had to beg for food as he went just to live. I was told that he complained all the time about what happened to him," Christian sighed. "But at least he was different from a man named No Faith." Christian went on. No Faith was someone like Esau who sold his birthright to Jacob. No Faith was willing to sell his soul to the evil prince. When he wanted something, he would do anything in the world to get it. People without faith are like that. They sell everything, including their own lives, so they can do sinful things. So there is a difference between no faith and little faith, Christian continued. No Faith had no faith at all. On the other hand, the little Faith had saving faith in the king, and so even though his faith was small, he could not sell his soul or his jewels. Hopeful asked, "But why didn't Little Faith have more courage to fight against the robbers?" Christian replied, "If you had been in the same situation, you might not have done well either. I've been in this sort of battle. It was terrible. I had my armor on, but I still had a hard time. No one knows how tough the fight is unless he has been in the battle himself. Why did the robbers want to run away when great grace was close by?" Hopeful wanted to know. Christian replied, "Great grace is the king's champion, and he is able to win against robbers like these. There is a difference between the king's champions and little faith. They are all pilgrims, but not all pilgrims are the king's champions. Some pilgrims are strong and some are weak. Some have great faith and some have only a little. But even great grace and the king's champions like David, Peter, and Paul have scars and wounds from their battles against robbers and the evil prince. You may remember that Peter boasted he would never deny Jesus. But when Jesus was arrested, that's what Peter did. Satan and his robbers are strong enemies," Christian warned. "Let's not think we can do better than others when we hear they have been defeated. Hopeful, we must remember 2 important things. Number 1, go out with our armor strapped on. Above all, we must take the shield of faith. Number 2, we must remember that the king goes with us and desire his presence more than anything else. As for me," Christian said thoughtfully, "only by God's goodness am I alive today. I can't boast that I won because of my strength, and I don't think we are out of danger yet," he went on. Looking around, I pray that God will deliver us from the next enemy we might meet. As they continued the journey, ignorance followed some distance behind. They came to a fork in the road. The two paths ahead appeared to be straight and narrow. Christian and Hopeful didn't know which one to take. A man in a very light robe appeared. "What are you going to do?" he asked. "Where are you going?" "To the celestial city," said Christian. "We're not sure which is the right road." "Follow me," said the man. "I'm going there too." So they followed him and found him very agreeable as they talked together. He led them step after step, and in time they came to a bend in the road. It curved away from the celestial city. And before they knew what was happening, the man led them right into a horrible net. Just then the shiny robe fell off his back, and there stood the enemy of the king. Christian and Hopeful lay there weeping, for they were trapped in the net through their own wrong choice. "We were wrong to follow him," cried Christian. "Didn't the shepherds warn us about the flatterer?" Someone who would tell us what we wanted to hear and agree with everything we said just to get us to do what he wanted. "Yes," Hopeful said sadly. "Besides, we forgot to read the directions the shepherds gave us." A shining one came toward them. They told him about the evil man and what happened. "It's the flatterer," the shining one explained. "He is the wicked prince. He transforms himself into an angel of light so he can tempt pilgrims to leave the narrow way." The shining one cut the net and freed Christian and Hopeful. Then he disciplined them for their foolishness, like a good father does to a disobedient son or daughter. "I correct those I love," the shining one said, "so be alert and repentant." Then he said to them on the right path, instructing them to pay attention to the shepherd's map and directions. The pilgrims thanked...
Daddy,
Yeah.
that's an angel to help people get the net and bite up bad guys.
Yes, that's one of the shining ones. He helped Christian and Hopeful out of the net that the flatterer got them in. So, be alert and repentant. Then he said to them, go back on the right path, instructing them to pay attention to the shepherds, the maps, and directions. The pilgrims thanked him and went on their way singing. They soon met another man named Atheist. Hopeful whispered to Christian, let's be careful because he might be a flatterer too. Atheist asked, where are you going? When they told him, Atheist laughed loudly. You are ignorant to go on such a difficult journey, he said. There is no king and no such place as the celestial city. We have both heard and believed there is such a place. We believe the truth of God's word and walk by faith in Jesus, the pilgrim said firmly. Then Christian whispered to Hopeful, is what this man is saying true? No, warned Hopeful. He is one of the flatterers. We were warned about him. Remember what it cost us the last time we listened to someone like him. Besides, we saw the celestial city when we were standing on the Delectable Mountains. So the pilgrims turned away from Atheist and continued on the narrow path. Pretty good. They're getting close, aren't they?
Who's that?
We will find out next time when Christian and Hopeful hear the testimony and they get to the enchanted ground. Can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time, boys and girls. Bye-bye.